Alright, and welcome back to the channel, buddy, and I hope you're doing fine. So, Crytek was a little bit sneaky the last couple of days, huh? They prepped a patch without telling us. Now we have patch 1.16.2, and it's gonna be a small content patch with some balance changes. So here's the overview. There's gonna be a spears, we're gonna talk about that. There's gonna be a Krag change. We're gonna talk about Fusee, Starshell ammo and that stuff. The syringes get a minor tweak and change. Mail attachments, a nice rework is in there. Immolator gets changed as well, and there's some other small stuff that doesn't really deserve its own topic, but is definitely interesting to talk about for a second. Now, footage will come the next couple of days, so I will make separate videos about the spear and about the Krag. I'm gonna stream the whole day today, so I can't really record and do videos and stream at the same time, am I right? So I'm just gonna have this quick info dump today, and then over the next couple of days we're gonna go into more detail with the very interesting topics. Let's go. Alright, I mean, it got kinda leaked already, everybody knows it's gonna be a spear, it's confirmed, so here we go. The crazy part is you only get one by default, which is not a lot. Yeah, so I don't know if this will replace my throwing axe or throwing knives. However, the moment you get Frontiersman, you get two of them. So if you miss one, not that bad. Going for PvP hunting with that, you don't get a lot of chances with that one, I tell you. Now, it works also with Bladeseer, so if you're not aware of that, Bladeseer in Darkside you can see arrows, bolts, throwing knives, everything that you throw, you can find with that. Well, exception I think with decoys, but hey. And that unlocks at rank 33 in your bloodline, so rather early. It's kind of cheap, with 65 bucks, which surprised me quite a bit compared to Knuckle Knife and other stuff. And it can be retrieved and reused. Just for the sake of completion, I'm going to mention here, it's the same with the throwing knives and throwing axe, so it's exactly the same category. It can one-shot, we saw it already in the clips, so let's see how far we can toss it. Animation probably the same as the pitchfork when you toss that one with Assailant. So yeah, I will definitely make a separate video about that very soon. Okay, next up, let's talk about the Krag balance changes, because they're cracked. Yeah, Dennis would love this one. Okay, so that thing deals now 126 damage instead of 124, which I personally think is absolutely wild. Now, the main reason why the Krag was in check, keep in mind, shoots faster, doesn't lose bullets when reloading, blah blah blah, but you could not one-tap people who were missing a bar. Now you can do that. It's still significantly less compared to a Lebel or a Mosin. A Mosin has 136 damage if I remember this correctly. So Mosin, Lebel, Sparks, they still have more one-tap range the moment people lost the bar. But in compounds, the Krag will definitely body tap you now when you lost a small bar, which is really crazy. But hey, that's not all, let's continue. The reserve ammo goes up to 12 from 8, so 4 extra bullets. So that is crazy, because that thing has now more ammo compared to the Mosin and the Lebel. Yeah, so the Krag will not be a joke anymore, and that will make this very interesting. Maybe not for sniping, because you're still too far away to get the full potential of the one tap when they missed a bar. But a Krag bayonet, the one with the harpoon skin, boy oh boy, that will come back. So that is really, really cool. Now, will it be too strong? I'm gonna play the Krag today, and then I will know. Then another one, we're gonna talk about Fusees, flares, and Starshell. So tools, Fusees and flare gun, right, and Starshell, the ammo. Now you can carry more Fusees up to 5 from 3, which is great. So we even have more burning now in the game. Yeah, thumbs up. They probably want to align this a little bit more with the flare gun, because the flare gun is easier to resupply because you don't need a toolbox compared to the Fusees. So I get it, and honestly, at this point I'm gonna be like, why not make the Fusees a little bit more valuable? Burning right now is off the charts anyway. What you gonna do? Also, the lifetime of flares is increased. So for the flare gun and the Starshell ammo, the actual flare that you see then on the ground will burn for a longer time. They didn't mention in the patch notes how long that will be, but for nighttime this might be actually very cinematic. And then Syringe Changes. Now, it's a little bit weird how they wrote it in the patch notes, at least in the patch notes that I got. There's one or two things that I want to check today on the live server, and then I will put it in the pinned comment section below, because they're saying weak shots have now all same animation. I wasn't even aware that they had different animations, if I'm completely honest with you guys. And the weak shots inject animation is faster. Now, give me a second here, because it also says that there's a minor tweak for the large shots to match the animation and timing. That is great, because that is annoying a few times, because the animation is done before you get the actual healing. So it's not a buff, it's not a nerf, it's exactly the same, just the animation, the visual thing that you see on your screen is now matched with when you actually get the healing. Very infuriating, you see the syringe is done, but you do not get the healing. Oof. But here it mentions that it's just a visual thing and that there is no buff to it. It's not saying the same thing for the weak shots. So do they heal faster? That would be nice, honestly, because they are already, well, weaker than the big ones. So making them heal a little bit faster, that would be nice. But that's something that I will clarify today and then put it in the pinned comments in a bit. Now, next one. Ooh, yeah, I like that one. So we have quite a lot of buffs in this one, honestly, and no exception for this one right here, melee attachments. Now, they reduce the overall stamina consumption across the board for all guns that, well, you know, bayonet, trauma, riposte, and that stuff, which I honestly like, because fighting bosses right now, since they nerfed the melee tools, and, well, the world melee weapons basically don't spawn anymore with the exception of the fixed spawns. So that is really, really nice. There's also no more sway penalty for bayonet and riposte. Honestly, the sway penalty that you got is not a lot, so I personally almost didn't feel it at all. But hey, it's a buff, we take it. Improved hit detection, that is nice, because sometimes my bayonet goes through the player and I'm like, where the hell is that stabbing? Reduce the wind-up time for Talon and Trauma. That is insane. This is probably the biggest downside for the Trauma and for the Talon. It takes forever to ready that thing. And then, you know, queuing the next attack was also kind of awkward. That should be fixed now too. So that is amazing. They also reduced the Brawler melee preparation duration. Okay, so you punch faster with the thing now, which is okay. In general, it seems like they want to force us, yes, I'm going to say force us, to play more the melee attachments. They nerf the melee tools. They get kind of rid of the world melee weapons. Yeah, okay. Not a huge fan of that, because if you want to play a suppressor, if you want to play a sniper, only the brawlers are not that great, especially with how they perform in PvP. For example, the brawler is really bad. So we will have to play a little bit more and then see. But otherwise, all the other changes, man, I'm a huge fan. So let's keep this going. Then we have some ammo changes, and that is only for Flechette and Dum Dum. Now, they lose their intensity at distance, so heavy to medium depending on distance. Which is awkward, because I thought for Dum Dum that was already the case, because I tested it, for example, with the packs. And at long distance, you only apply light bleed and you can build it up, but okay, apparently it's not for all of them, and also for Flechette. So, which is crazy, because before, the bleed intensity with Flechette depended on how many darts hit you. So 1 dart means light, 2 means medium, and 3 darts means heavy. So now when multiple darts hit you at longer distances, you might not suffer from heavy bleed anymore. Okay, I mean, bleed, ammo, nerf, when I look at the Centennial and the Officer, I don't mind it that much, because they are very oppressive guns. With the Flechette, I see it regularly, but I wouldn't call it meta. You can do some fun stuff with this, you can still do that. Tagging them for long ammo and then using the Flechette will still work. But what you're gonna do? Keep in mind, we're talking here just about the bleed intensity, not the overall damage. At least that's what it says in the patch notes. Otherwise, good comment. And then actually some AI gets changed. So we have Immolator Changes. Now poison ammo and arrows deal less damage. Honestly, not a fan. Because if we look at poison ammo, I think the majority of the community sees the poison ammo more as like, oh nice, I can get rid of all the AI very quickly and efficiently. Yeah, this might be an issue now. So okay, if I need 2 bullets or something like that, fine. The next thing though is they are immune to poison clouds. So the hand crossbow with the poison bolts, pinned comment, right? I think they will not work anymore against the Immolator, because you're actually shooting a poison cloud. And they say Poison Cloud and not Poison Bomb. But they're also immune to a Poison Bomb then. I don't know why they did that. This was not necessary. That doesn't add any value to the game. It's just making the Immolator even more pain. And you're nerfing the stuff that is already a low pick rate. Nobody can tell me that the hand crossbow with poison bolts is a meta pick rate. Or the poison bomb itself. So, why? But sure, I guess. Let's play it. And then maybe I'm wrong, but then you will see it in the pinned comment. And we have one more chapter. Okay, final chapter. Let me tell you, there's a little bit more in the patch notes. The patch notes will also be in the description below once I have them. Keep in mind that there are some bug fixes that are like minor tweaks, some visual stuff, some UI stuff that I will not mention in this video, okay? There's just 2 more topics that I think that are very interesting. First of all melee variants across all weapons only cost 10 extra bucks. Now, there's absolutely no reason anymore whatsoever to not take the melee attachments for the guns. Well, there actually is. If you play a secondary weapon that doesn't have blunt damage, sometimes maybe you need the stock on the rifle to kill immolators if you want to play something with like triple traps and medkit. But that's a very, very specific use case, alright? So, sure, 10 bucks extra, that's basically nothing. You take this. Also, they fixed an issue with the times of day. I assume that Fog, Ash, Bloom and Rain is coming back. I don't know what other issue there is with times of day, so I think that got fixed. And we get now the weather back, which I'm not a huge fan. I don't like playing in Thunderstorm, Rain or Ash Bloom. For the rain, for example, it would be nice if there would be only light rain. And that's it. No Thunderstorm or anything like that. I know some people like it. I have to play the game, or I want to play the game a lot of hours, and I just get a fucking headache. Okay, but that's it. So, quite some crazy stuff with the Krag and the spear and some ammo changes. Gonna hop over to Twitch in a bit, like early afternoon. And then we're gonna play everything and hopefully have a good time. And detail videos or gameplay videos will come over the next couple days. Have a good day. So yeah, a very straightforward patch notes video, honestly. Nothing amazing, nothing crazy. Okay, so the only thing that is crazy in this video here, these people right here, my patrons. Thank you very much for supporting me over on Patreon. Still have to do some announcements this week, so keep an eye out on the Patreon page for any news. And with that, have a beautiful Monday. Thank you for watching. We have to check if they went overboard with the Krag and how good the spear will actually be. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, have a good day and bye-bye.